It's Wellness Nerd Out time! What's happening, guys? Happy Wellness Nerd Out time, and a very happy today, and a very happy birthday to Ali Nazir. Happy birthday, my brother. I hope you're having a great day today. I want you to know 100% this one's for you. We'll talk about him more at the end. As for now, let's get into our discussion of the day, and that is about losing weight. For women in particular. And, I know many of you are interested in that. Many of you out there are interested. It's a commonly spoken of topic, and there are a lot of things we have to watch out for, and a lot of things that are good for us in regards to losing weight if you're a woman. So let's get right into it. All right. So first, we should say that with calorie restriction in women, there are a lot of negative side effects that we can get from excessive calorie restriction. And so we have to be very careful and methodical about how we go about this to lose weight, because we have to remember the common mantra that if we are taking in more than we're burning, we're not going to lose weight, right? We're going to gain weight. And conversely, of course, if we're burning more than we're taking in, well, then we're going to lose weight. All right. And, and obviously if they were equal, you'll maintain your weight. Now, is it that simple? Well, no, in regards to hormone release, optimizing hormone levels and things like that. And when we talk about intermittent fasting, for example, hey, it's enough. My dog's crying. And so, aside, but I just want to remind you of that very important point, that if we are taking in less, then we are burning, right? That we are what? All right, that's all right. He's coming. Then I'm sorry. I'm gonna deal with this guy. Yeah. So the point is, now if you want to lose weight, you're gonna have to find a way to burn more calories, or you're gonna have to eat less. Okay. And so we can do both, and we can really burn a lot of weight fast in that sense, but we can't go too crazy with this, because if we fast for prolonged periods of time, as we were just saying, there can be a lot of negative effects. So what are the negative effects of excessive calorie restriction that we could find in women? Well, if we don't eat enough calories throughout our day, and it's to the point where it's stressing our bodies out, we're not building up to that, it's stressing us out, and we're releasing more cortisol. Right? Well, that's one way that we could put on more weight, right? It binds the same receptors as testosterone, and so we're not, promoting fat burning in this hormonal sense, just off the top of my head real quick. But on top of that, our hypothalamus isn't producing as much gonadotropin-releasing hormone, and so it's not stimulating the release of luteinizing hormone or follicle-stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary gland. And so this means we can have negative effects on female reproductive health with excessive calorie restriction when our body is under stress. And that's why it's important, I want to say, to be able to do this without putting so much stress on our body. And we'll talk about how to do that in a second here. All right, but what are some of the negative things that can come with less LH and FSH being released? Well, we could get irregular periods, potential infertility, and even decreased bone mineral density over time, putting you ladies at a higher risk for developing things like osteoporosis, right? Anything with decreased bone mineral density, for example. So some positive effects of intermittent fasting, when we talk about one form of, prolonged calorie restriction, improving cardiovascular health, promoting longevity, improving psychological well-being, right? And generally, making you mentally sharper in general when we talk about the effects of autophagy on the brain, right? Reducing your risk for developing type 2 diabetes mellitus, promoting fat loss, of course, and preserving lean muscle mass. So, we can burn that fat, we can think better, live happier, reduce our risk for developing certain diseases, improve our heart health, maintain that lean muscle mass, all with intermittent fasting and exercise in a fasted state if it's all done properly. So how do I start tomorrow? What do I do if I'm a woman that wants to lose weight? Well, it's not as simple as don't eat for an entire day, right? And then eat normal the next day. You can do that. There are some sources that say you can do a 24-hour fast 1 or 2 days a week for women, and you might still be all right. But in my experience and with women I know, and just what I think works best based on the science, you're going to sleep for 8 hours. God, I hope so. All right. You're going to not eat for 4 hours before bed, 4 hours after you wake up. Now, we've said this in general with fasting and how you increase the increments every week, where next week you fast an hour longer. Not for you ladies. We're going to cap it out at 16 hours. But here's what we're going to do. You're going to eat regular for one day. You're going to do that the next day. All right? You're not going to eat 4 hours before bed, 4 hours after you wake up. You get 8 hours of sleep. That's a 16-hour fast. And you're going to work out in a fasted state if you can. The next day, you're going to eat regular. Okay? The next day, you're going to do the 16-hour fast, and so on. If you could do 3 days a week to start, where you're fasting for 16 hours, eating for 8, well, that's not so difficult. It's very manageable to incorporate into our daily routine. Right? And if you could do your workout in a fasted state at the end of your fast, that would be ideal. Now, I know it might be tough if, you wake up and then 8 hours, 4 hours after you wake up, you're at work. And you're like, well, how am I going to work out? I'm at work. I'm in a fasted state. It's the end of my fast. But what the hell am I going to do here? What you can do in that case is right when you wake up, you can do your workout. All right? If you have to go to work, do it before that. When you get there, you've been there for 4 hours. It's probably about time to take your lunch break. You can start eating, and that starts your 8-hour window. If you could eat throughout, steadily throughout the rest of that window, that would be great. Now, if you feel fine doing this and you haven't had any negative side effects with your periods or, feeling out of whack or irregular bowel movements or anything like that, then, if you want, you could try 18 hours, but I think 16 should suffice to serve the purpose of losing weight over time. All right. Now, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but you give it a few months, and if you do this consistently, I guarantee you're going to lose weight. All right. So, that's really what we got for you today. What you're going to do, I didn't say this, you're fasting for 3 days, right? For 16 hours. 3 weeks later, or 2 weeks, if you feel comfortable, you're going to incorporate another day of 16-hour fasting. A couple weeks after that, another day, until you're doing a 16-hour fast 7 days a week. All right? And when you get to that point and you're doing your workout in a fasted state, hopefully it's involving a lot of intense cardio, things like that, towards the latter end of your fast. What's up, Jazzy? How you doing, girl? What's happening? You don't need to lose any weight. I don't like how you look great. Yeah, you always do. Yeah. So, that's what we got for you today. Again, you want to get to that point. For those of you late to the party, that 7 days a week, you're fasting for 16 hours, not eating 4 hours before bed, 4 hours after you wake up. You're working out at the end of your fast. If you have to work out in the morning, in the beginning of the 4 hours after you woke up where you're fasting, that's fine too. Go through your day, and you start eating around lunch, and you're going to eat for 8 hours, and you're going to stop 4 hours before you go to bed. You're going to do that for 3 days a week on non-consecutive days. Non-consecutive days, okay? Eat regular, do the 16-hour fast. Eat regular, do the 16-hour fast. Then, a couple weeks later, you're going to add a 4th day into the routine. Then, you're going to add a 5th day into the routine. Now, then you're going to add a 5th day, not a 15th day. Eventually, it'll be 7 days a week, all right? So that's what we got for you girls today. I hope it helps. I really do. It's a lot easier than you think. And, if this is a super challenging thing for you, I do personalized coaching with women all the time, especially generally middle-aged women trying to lose weight that have busy schedules. And I go through diet plan and exercise, and I keep with them every day and keep them on a schedule. So if you're interested in something like that, you can message me. But I'm also happy to give free information in these videos, every day. I just only have so much time. So, for me to dedicate a lot of time to one person, of course, it's not free. It's not very expensive. It's extremely affordable. Really, really affordable, actually, because it's not, about the money, all that. I just only have so much time, literally. So, I'm happy to give free information here, but if it's not enough, you can message me. All right. Now, before we go, we got to say, happy birthday, Ali Nazir. Happy birthday, brother. I hope you had a great day today. Man, Ali, you were always there when we would be playing. Whether you were coaching us or not at Stony Brook, you'd be coaching Kings Point. Get out there, try to whoop your butt, man. But you boys were tough. You guys would just keep hitting and hitting the whole game. It's that military mindset, and you coached them well. You're a great guy. Having fun with you off the field as well. We always had a good time anytime we hung out, and I hope I see you soon, brother. And I really hope you're doing well. It seems like you are. I see you're with the boys at Stony Brook now. It makes me happy to see. Yeah, I hope they're doing great. I'm sure you're making them work, and this one is 1,000% for you, Ali. So happy birthday, brother. Forever your day in the book of Wend Wellness. He's good, ladies. Yeah, thanks, Jazzy. All right, thank you guys very much. Have a great rest of your day. We'll pick up tomorrow. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have a great night, and happy Wend Wellness. Thank you.